Hello, everyone. It is Brianna here from Made Well, coaching practice designed to empower others to be healthy and thrive in all areas of their life. So I'm a holistic health and life coach, and I just want to welcome you to the Be Healthy and Thrive podcast. So how this podcast is really going to go is going to be done in video because I love video and I love being able to see people and interact with people. And so that will be available on YouTube and then the audio version as well. So welcome. This has been so exciting, for me for so long. And I just really wanted the first episode to be a chance where you could get to know me, you could get to know what I'm about, you could get to know what Made Well is about, know my heart behind the Be Healthy and Thrive podcast, as well as what to expect, right, around the Be Healthy and Thrive podcast. So what to expect, we'll kind of start there. I will be doing some solo episodes, so just kind of sharing my thoughts around different topics, as well as interviews with one other person, and then hopefully some panels actually where there are going to be multiple people talking about a certain topic at each time. And I've already aligned at least 2 or 3 of those, so I'm so excited. And obviously this is the beginning. It's very rustic, wearing my earphones now. I'll get all the official equipment soon, but I'm usually the type of person where I know it's time to start something. It's time to start something even if it's not perfect, right? Because often, if we're all honest, perfection keeps us from moving forward, right? And so really what Made Well is, or what the Be Healthy and Thrive podcast is, it's a fruition and kind of I don't know what the right word is, but just like climax of everything that I believe to be true about health in our lives. And we're going to focus on different areas such as physical health, emotional health, mental health, relational health, financial health, vocational health. I always do this. There's 7 of them. So spiritual, emotional, mental, financial, relational, vocational. Okay, there's 7. I have totally blanked, but hopefully as we go along in this show, you'll be able to remember all 7. But really what my heart kind of stemmed from that is recently I launched a membership community around that most of the time when people think holistic health, they think about how physical health impacts their whole body, but really it's your whole health and life. Because if you're well and healthy and thriving in all areas of your life, each one is going to come into play. Your physical health is going to be better. Your emotional health is going to be better. Your mental, your financial, all those different areas. And so over the last 3 months, I've been sharing my platform in different ways with a bunch of different amazing women and have focused on those 7 areas. Launched a membership community around that, the Whole Women's Health Club. And as well as in my free group on Facebook, the Healthy and Thriving Women, have really focused on that as well. So it's almost like I started there and I started to focus on all these different areas, and I came back to this holistic health and your whole health and lives. And I'm going to share my story, and hopefully that can kind of give you a glimpse in my heart behind caring for your whole health and life. So I can't really tell my story if I don't really talk to you about my faith, my journey and struggles with physical health and food and body and stuff, and then my calling, vocation, and purpose and career, and how all those other areas of health kind of played into those 3 main areas. So growing up, I went to a Christian school. I'm from the Cayman Islands. The Cayman Islands is a Christian nation, quote unquote. That's the dominant religion. And I always believed in God, and I accepted Jesus as Lord very young age, 8 years old. But I would say that I still never really grasped the relationship part. I never really got the discipleship and never really understood what it meant for him to be God over my whole entire life. And so even within that, so that's the beginning, right? So fundamentally, yeah, Christian. But even with that, when going through very tough times in my life, I always wondered kind of where God was. And one of those tough times was Hurricane Ivan hit our island about in 2004 in September, kind of close to when I'm recording this. And it just forever changed so much for me. A couple of my best friends went away from Cayman Islands for school for a while, and we were living at my grandparents' just as our house was getting fixed. And right before that, I had started the health journey of kind of watching what I eat, got involved in sports and lost weight. And I think I was in a really good place for my body structure and my body type. But what happened with that change of life is I lost control. I wasn't able to control anything. I wasn't able to control where I lived, wasn't able to control if my friends were here. And I really started to want to control something. And I said, okay, what can I control? I can control my grades and how much I study. I can control how much I eat and how much I exercise. And so feeling this change of life and wanting to control, I controlled till I over-controlled. I ate very little because I became almost scared of food, and I exercised too much. I studied all the time, didn't have a social life, and I was really sad. I was really sad because on the inside, I thought I was doing the things that I can control that would make me happy, but I was aiming for something that didn't really have any lifelong meaning. You know, of course, you need to take care of your health, but at the expense of what? At the expense of why was I going to gain the whole world, to gain all this affirmation and, you know, all these things from other people and not feel happy? And so it actually came to a point where I was way too skinny. It was way unhealthy for my body type and borderline anorexia, just way too. And I had different teachers and family just said, do you like what's going on? There's a nutritionist coming to visit. Do you want to talk to her? And I said, sure. But I should have known something was wrong when I'm talking to the nutritionist and I'm crying, because obviously it's not the food that's the issue. It's the feeling of loss of control, the feeling of whatever was happening at the time. And she recommended I speak to a child psychologist, a Christian child psychologist. And I'm like, I'll just eat food and gain some weight and I'll be fine. But that doesn't solve anything. It is your mindset. It is those core strongholds that you really need to break down. And that is what I often now as a coach help my clients get to, because I can help you change your eating. I can help you, get the strategies you need to succeed at a ministry, at a business, all those different things. But if your mind doesn't change, your mindset doesn't change, if your habits don't change, if you don't get to the core beliefs and core thoughts and core actions, that change you're seeking for may happen, but it will not be sustainable. I am telling you it won't be, right? And so I did what I thought I should do. I gained some weight, but then what came to a point is that I was out of control again and stressed and wanted to be valedictorian, because that's the most important thing in the world. And it just felt like it was unattainable. And what did I do? I ran to food for comfort. So I came from a point where food was a foe to now it's my best friend, and gained all the weight back. And with that comes so many emotions that people just don't understand. It's not a matter of like, oh, you've gained weight, you're eating too much. It's a matter of like, this is the only thing that may give me comfort right now. The only thing I feel is safe. There's a lot of shame. There's a lot of guilt that comes with eating and gaining back that weight and never feeling like you have control of it. So I went from a point I felt out of control to like I'm in control, out of control again. And I can't seem to get back that control. I can't seem to eat well again. And that self-control I had before is gone. And really, I struggled with it for a long, long time, until a point it came like it wasn't as bad. But I still was heavier. I still wasn't happy with my body. And I still was running to find worth and value in what I achieved, whether that was in school, whether that was in an award, or all those sort of things. And the whole time, God is there and I'm praying, but he's trying to reach out. He's trying to say, hey, I created you. I formed you. I made you in your mother's womb, and I love you despite all this stuff happening. So let me help you. Let me walk with you. But I was too busy for that. And so what then happened is I went to college, University of Tampa in Florida. I was studying accounting, and I just enjoyed accounting at the time. It wasn't like, oh, everywhere else. Okay, let me go back. Cayman is a very financial place. Either finances and tourism are our top two industries. And so most people do become accountants. It just makes sense. But it's not like, oh, I have to do this because this is what everyone thinks. It's just a matter of this is the only thing I thought I wanted to do at the time. So go forth, I'm doing accounting. I remember the first semester, it was just so tough. College is tough. You're being away from your family. You're going through all these changes. And I remember calling my mom and saying, Mom, I'm coming home. I'm going to just come home. I can this is too hard. I can change degrees. This is that. And she's like, just take a moment, take a breath. This is when you're glad you have a mom that knows you're just freaking out. And so just kept going with it, just kept plunging myself into schoolwork though, and still struggling with the eating, still using food to help me with my stress and whatever was going on in life, until a friend invited me to an InterVarsity Christian Fellowship, which is a Christian ministry for students on campus. And I was invited a while before, but I said, you know what, again, school is more important. Yeah, it's not. And then another friend invited me about a year and a half later, and I just remember feeling for the first time I could explore Jesus and what it really meant to be a Christian, what it really meant to have God in my life, and really explore it and not just be like, oh, I should memorize this. Oh, I should study the Bible. Oh, I should do this. And I remember feeling so loved by this group of people, because it wasn't just like, hey, let's have Bible study. Let's hang out. Let's enjoy life. Let's go to Shake Shack, whatever it was called. Let's have a little dance party and do the cha-cha slide. It's like, whoa, this is fun. We can have fun and be Christian. And I just started to explore what does it mean to have this relationship? What does it mean for God to create me? And I remember going to this conference, Sunburst, October 2009, I guess. So nearly 8 years ago. And I just remember it was on God's love. And I remember being in worship, and I loved singing at that point too. So that was great. And I remember just for the first time saying, God actually loves me. I'm feeling it and bawling, because it was like for the first time realizing that you're loved by this creator God. And I remember just kind of like it was our campus time and everyone, was talking, and I just was uncontrollably, and two of my staff workers, oh man, two amazing friends now, just talked to me, and I talked to the wife at the time, and just kind of for the first time confessed, I guess, that I really struggled with eating, and I struggled with this control issue, and I struggled with finding worth in what I did. And as I confessed that, and as I owned that, that started the journey of being free from that. And go into that, I start finding how much I wanted to share this thing that changed my life with people. I wanted to talk about God, and I wanted women to know that their worth was not in how they looked, was not in men, was not in what we did, was not how smart we are. So I was like, you know what, I need to do something. I don't know if I have it all figured out. So I started Women of Worth, which was a small group on campus within InterVarsity. I started taking up leadership roles there. I started coaching women from then. And I think that's significant to where I am now is by nature, I guess I have always been a little entrepreneur, but when I experience something to be true and life transforming, I feel within my heart it is unfair and an injustice for me to keep that to myself. And so even now, as we'll talk about in a little bit, all these different areas of coaching that I address, essential oils, all these different groups that I help out with, it's not because I like being busy. It's because I have seen the impact that thing has made on my life and has forever changed who I am, what I think, what I do, how I spend my time. And it is unfair for me to keep that to myself. So if you're listening and you're like, wow, there is something that's impacted me, I need to share it. Yeah. So if you follow my Instagram, you'll probably see, what I'm reading, because I'm going to share it with you because it's convicting. It's changing. It's, you'll see stuff about oils. You'll see stuff about health. You see stuff about all this stuff, because it's not like, oh, I want to get this so people know that I offer this, or it's like, this is crazy good. Like, you should learn about it. Hopefully you can be blessed by it too. And so that's very much a part of who I am, and very much a part of what Madewell is. And coaching is very much a part. So from then I knew that I loved coaching women in their whole life, because obviously I'm talking about, these women are worth of their relationship with God, but I talked about their life. We talked about real things, talked about their relationships with their family, their friends, guys. We talked about school. We talked about we talked about all of this. And I should have known that from then, but I didn't. I thought I just was like, And so fast forward, got my accounting, my bachelor's. I wanted to stay and do some more ministry. And so I got my master's in business administration while being a volunteer staff worker for this ministry and taking more of a leadership role and more of a coaching role and shepherding role. And eventually I had to move back to the Cayman Islands. And I just really felt that I should have stayed in ministry, but I had to stay, do my accounting job because I got a scholarship. And so, it was a gift. It still is a gift. And I forever love that firm, and I'm grateful for them. But I thought I was supposed to be doing ministry. So it was like hard. It was hard to feel like, oh man, I'm not doing what I should do. But God had other plans, because actually, guess what I'm doing now? I'm still doing business. It's just different. I remember when I moved back, I think I needed to be moved away from this intense serving environment to kind of ask for God to put me in the place where now going back to my health. So he really was like, okay, your health, I want to help you. Now this is the faith part, your spiritual part. Now I want to go back to this physical part. It was a summer that we moved back, and I was at my parents for a bit, and I found some books, and they're The First Place for Health, which is a Christian health program. And I started it at my church like years ago, but I wasn't ready. I actually wasn't ready for the change, and that's key, right? Is being ready for a change. And I saw these books, and the first verse I saw that said, Abraham, when he was called, he went, even though he did not know where he was going, because he trusted God. And I'm like, and I just felt in that moment, God's like, are you ready to go on this journey to be made well? And I was like, made well, what is that? What is that? What is that? And then I looked and saw another verse, John 5:5, that says, when God goes to the man at this well who's been invalid for 38 years, no one's able to heal him. He can't do anything. He says, goes to this man. He's like, do you want to be made well? And the man comes up with excuses like, no, there's no one to take me down to the water. And you're like, yeah, of course there's no one to take you down to the water. But he's like, no, do you want to be made well? And he's like, get up, take your mat, and go. And so the man gets up and walks. And I felt like God's like, do you want to be made well? If so, get up, take up your mat, and start walking in it, because you're just sitting here right now. And I'm like, and it was, for the first time, it was a surrender that did not feel like a stroke. It was like, yes, I'm ready. And from there, things shifted. So started to see that, okay, this program, that the First Place for Health program, was very much about spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical health. And for the first time, really looking at all those areas, I started to find freedom in my physical health and my mindset and my emotions towards food, towards myself, towards all those things. I started to lose weight. I started to exercise consistently, and I started walking, and I love walking still. And I will tell everyone, just go walk, and then I eventually started running, and now I do CrossFit and doing like crazy things like pull-ups that I never thought a woman could do. Now I'm doing them. Or like barbell Olympic weightlifting, like me. But yeah, I'm doing them. And eventually lost 30 pounds and changed my way of eating slowly but surely. And now I'm following more of a paleo Whole30 diet and feeling good. But I remember very well along that journey, someone said to me, like, what are you doing? Do you feel like you're supposed to help others in this? And I said, yeah, but I think this time it's for me. I think I'm supposed to care for myself first and then help others. And so then there actually came a time when I did the Whole30 eating program that changed my life even more, because it focused on more than just eating. It was all these different areas of health and life as well. Eating, exercise, diet, stress, sleep, cravings, habits, mindset, other areas of your life, relationships, fun, play, that just transformed the way I looked at food and my life, and finally gave me a way of also eating that worked with my body and was real food and wasn't a diet. And I just knew after doing that, I was like, I need to do something. I need to help people somehow, some way. And so I went researching for like, is there another school? I don't want to go back to school for 4 years. And sure enough, there's a health coaching certification with the Institute for Integrative Nutrition. where you could do it online, and they very much believed in holistic health as well. And I told myself, all right, I think I'm going to do this. But I didn't plan at the time of switching careers. I just wanted to become a health coach and help people, right? Now, this is where also the career part comes into play, right? So talked about my faith, and now that informed my health journey and finding freedom in food, fitness, and all these areas. And now the vocation part starts to come into play. And how I remember I told myself, I'm not going to pay for this certification with interest. I just don't, that's a high, like, sorry if anyone's, I got to pay for it all up front. And I just never thought that amount of money would come in. And I just remember like, I'm never going to be this. I'm never going to even be a health coach. And I just remember a friend at a time just really saying, like, looking me in the face and saying, Bri, you will be a health coach. And the strongness and surety in the voice, I was like, yeah, I will be. And so just having to have faith to even do that first step, right? And I eventually, I was like, okay, I'm getting the money slowly, but I'm going to start a blog. So I started Madewell, and that's where the name came in. I was trying to figure out in the meantime, like, what should I call this thing? And Healthy Redemption, Redemption Road, and all this stuff. And me and my friend, we were just like, this isn't. But, and then I looked at the scripture again, and it said Madewell, and I told her, and she's like, yeah, that's it. And I'm like, that's it. And the 345, really, that is Cayman's area code, but Madewell was taken already by a jeans company. So I was like, Madewell 345, very much my Caymanian, being that is very much a part of my story. I love being Caymanian. So that's what I'm going to call it, Madewell 345. So that's where that comes in, if you're ever wondering. And yeah, and so I started the blog and just started sharing. And I just started being honest with people, sharing, journaling my journey with Whole30, sharing different stuff. So when I actually did finally be able to sign up for health coaching for the certification, because it takes belief, faith, and action, got that money, signed up, and I had, took 6 months where I was really like just learning. And then when you're halfway through, you're able to start seeing clients. By building up that blog and that presence, when I said I'm going to see clients, I had clients, right? And so knowing from then, as I started to learn and as I started to see clients, I'm like, there is no way I cannot do this full time, because I find so much joy in helping people with their physical health, but their whole life, because all of my clients used to come to me just about nutrition. And as we're talking, they started to see, wait, my spiritual life is so much important. My career, my purpose, my relationships, and seeing how that all impacts their overall health and well-being, so much so that now a couple of those people are my life coaching clients, right? Because, I've journeyed with them through their whole life. And I just knew halfway through that I needed to do this full time. And so eventually I got a finance job, moved from auditing to a 9-to-5 in the firm, then eventually went part-time, and then I eventually went full-time. And it's a tough journey. Like, I talk a lot about entrepreneurship because I believe there's so many people out there that need to start something new and need to go after what they're supposed to be called to. And just need the encouragement. But yes, leaving a very secure job to do something that's not as secure in the beginning is tough, but it's worth it, because I knew, again, that I could not hold it to myself, and that I light up when I coach people in the areas that I've journeyed with, and when I can really impact their life and see a transformation, right? So I started doing health coaching on the side and part-time, but then comes in essential oils. So that's another part. So started with health coaching and then essential oils. And why I started with essential oils is that I had tendonitis in my wrist that wouldn't go away. And I literally was in the gym working out with like a straight arm and just like getting strong on the dumbbells though, right? And I just felt hopeless until I got introduced to essential oils, the deep blue cream. I'm just going to reach for it over there. That is similar to Icy Hot and Bengay. And the relief I got, I said, there's no way I can keep this to myself. And I can incorporate this as part of my business. Great. And I've been doing it for over the last year and a half. And I have so many amazing users, people who just use the oils and love them on my team. I have people who love sharing the oils and people who are building a business as well. And the very same things that I am doing or get to help my coaching clients with, I get to help them with. And you caring for their health, caring for their life, and starting a business and doing it well, all those things. And so that's what is, Made Well has even evolved to. And then, so the health coaching and the oils. And then last year I had the opportunity to win the Young Cayman Leadership Award. And that is such a prestigious award that I am so humbled to say that I won, because as I was sitting there with the other 4 finalists and really understanding the impact of what it is to be given this award, I just knew that it wasn't for me. I knew that God was calling me to grow me and to bless other people. I remember praying and saying, Lord, I'm not starting my business. This is something else like you're adding to my plate. And he said, I've raised you up for this purpose, to display my glory and my name and my power in all the earth. Romans 9:17. And I said, all right, that's a great answer. It's not about me. And as I was doing that, we were supposed to pick a platform. And for me, I had been on a journey where just like understanding that I was finding the purpose God is calling me, the specific purpose to empower people in their health and lives. I knew that other people need to be, their purpose and their potential needed to be at the forefront of the conversation as well. So that was my platform. And I won, and I've been sharing that ever since. And it's been such a gift to see the amazing young Caymanians that are out there from 2 years old to 12 to 30 and beyond. And I'm like, these are such gems. I want you all to win like all year, all the time. And in that, I started to do a little bit of purpose and business coaching, because I was talking about it a lot, and a lot of people were talking to me about it. And I just had the opportunity to journey with different individuals and their purpose, and figuring that out for them and their life, and helping them start a business and helping them create a business idea into something actual, into reality, and making it successful. And so with that, then coming back to, I can't stop. I have to be very clear about how I'm branding myself, because I'm just saying I'm all these things. And so I'm like, you know what I actually am? And I had to own this, because I actually had a friend that says, when are you going to start calling yourself a life coach? And I'm like, ugh. I don't know why I was so scared of it, but that's what I was doing. I'm a holistic health and life coach. And what does that mean? I want to empower you to be healthy and thrive in all those areas of your life, right? And owning that, I was like, that is what the podcast needs to be about. So that's what I've come back to full circle, really. Like, I offer nutrition coaching. I offer, some coaching around your exercise, your stress, your sleep, your physical health, but in all these areas as well. Physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, relational, vocational. Got the 7 this time. And my heart is that through Made Well, through my coaching practice, through my essential oils, through my social media, through my podcast, through my newsletters, through my workshops and classes, everything that I do, you can be healthy and thrive in all areas of your life, because your whole health and your whole life is deserving of time, money, and investment and care, right? So for me, I have come to a point, I've invested a lot in Made Well, a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of wins, a lot of struggles. I've invested a lot in my health, paid for my CrossFit membership, I eat well, all these different things. But it's worth it to me, because those things help me become more of the person God wants me to be. Those things help me serve people better. And those things help me fulfill my ultimate calling in life, which is to also help you live a healthy and full life. Right? So what you'll see on this podcast is that. And there are going to be different ways throughout this that I'm going to invite you to journey with me deeper and journey with the people I'm interviewing deeper. But I know one way right now is, if you're a woman, you can join the Healthy and Thriving Women group on Facebook. And you can just join my mailing list as well, whether you're a man or a woman. I'm going to have the links for that goes along with this podcast, how you can join my list and stay up to date on everything that's happening. And if you join that group and join my list, join those 2 things, you'll know everything that's happening. I'm very good at trying to share those things, what's new, what's happening. And throughout this time with this podcast, I want to hear your comments. I want to hear your feedback. I want to hear what you want to learn about and how something impacted you, what inspired you, what you do from there, something you're struggling with. Like, this is about serving you. And how can I help you and the people that I invite on this podcast, on this show, in my business to serve you better, so that when you leave after listening or after watching, you are more empowered to be healthy and thrive in that area of your life, that thing we talked about, right? So I'm so excited. I'm so excited. My goal is to release a podcast a week. Depends, because as you can see, I got my hands full a little bit, but I really hope to serve you in this way. And I'm so excited you listened, and I'm so excited you joined. And definitely be sure to join my mailing list and my Facebook group so you can stay up to date. And I can't wait to get to know you if I don't know you yet. If I do know you, I can't wait to get to know you more and really just journey with you into understanding how all these areas of your health and your life play in together, so that you can leave a legacy and impact on this world that lasts, so that you can live the fulfilling life that you long for. Because it's more than just about your physical health. It's more than just about your financial health. It's about all these areas. So I am so honored that you've even listened this far, and I'm honored to journey with you, and I hope to get to know you more soon. All right? So you can feel free to learn more about me as well at my website, madewealth345.com. Blessings, and talk to you in the next podcast.